darkness.
People like spectacle, not truth.
Cascade the world in darkness, but we didn't exactly know why.
Reporting when you can just make stuff up.
Like, we knew his motivation, but not the motivation behind that one. In a way, it was kind of cool being... Oh, we get opposing Sora instead of Terra here. Which means I could probably
it really didn't matter.
skip soon, since, like,
Where'd they come
the
from?
novelty of opposing Sora is gonna wear off eventually.
Why don't we ask the guys
But I wanna...
who actually stopped him?
I wanna see what,
Hiro,
if
you
Aqua was in...
never-
I mean, I guess they were... Because everyone else in that universe is a kid. Except for the Master of Masters and the, Foretellers. Like, they're the only... And two of them don't even look like adults. Like, Ava and... I keep wanting to call him Gura, but that's a VTuber. Ava and the guy who looks like Ventus. No. 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 Oh. I'm back. I'm back. Okay. I am back. The bitrate has been lowered. So I hopefully don't have to deal with as much nonsense when it comes to dropping frames. Although I suspect it was the Olympus Coliseum map I was in. Due to all of the little rock particles flying around in the air in that map. Probably didn't help. But if anything, you'd think my bitrate would tank because of that, and not my frame rate. That's rather how I'd have it be. Okay. Well, everything's set up, and today I would like to beat the Big Hero 6 world. Because, yeah, level 38 is the recommended one for that. Let me make sure my volume is actually on. Oh, and since I haven't been using the CMod menu, I've just gone ahead and removed that from the mod folder. For right now, because, these two worlds... I can do what? I never knew I could do this. I just started randomly flicking around my mouse pad and it actually did something. That's crazy, what? Oh, okay, because that's what your control, okay. But yeah, these two worlds do not like it when you have those mods installed. So in order to avoid those issues, I just uninstalled them. Or well, took them out of the mod folder. Wait. Can I change my inventory from this menu? Yes, I can! I want to equip my new Keyblade. And I know they throw us into a fight the moment we... Oh, hey there. Second chance. Oh my god. I got a lot of abilities from, the Olympus Coliseum. But Donald... What? Wait a minute, did their abilities get sent to Terra? What? What happens if I am Terra and I use that ability? Wait a minute, what? Okay, I might want to be careful about what... Second chance. Do I have withstand combo on? Baby, come on. Come on. Cat's fussy again. Magic I don't know if I'm allowed to or supposed to have those abilities on. But whatever, I was just, No, wait, we didn't get a new Keyblade. Yeah, we didn't. Oh, Way to Dawn isn't bad. Rumbling Earth. Earthshaker is actually stronger than whatever the Keyblade was that I had on. This one only has 4 strength and 4 magnet. What? Or 4 magic magnet. Way to Dawn has 7 strength. Chaos Ripper is just generally... Wait, is its magic stat also better? Oh, its magic stat is worse. Yeah, let me go with this. And do I have a better version of Cure? No, I don't. Okay, let me stop messing around and get to it. So yeah, I want to get through a good bit of the Big Hero 6 world today. Also, yesterday, I think I had a moment where I paused because I was in the middle of saying I had never beaten Proud Mode before. The thing that I forgot about while I was saying that was that I was literally playing Proud Mode at the moment. And like I think my previous 2 playthroughs have been in Proud Mode in this game. So I have no idea what the heck I was talking about when I said that. I think maybe I meant I've never beaten Proud Mode in vanilla before. So I should definitely try that at some point. But I was thinking my quote-unquote normal playthrough would be like a special Final Mix mod pack that adds a bunch of stuff. Where is that little target flag I put on? Oh, there it is. Okay. I don't know what I'm doing. I said I'd be playing Mario 64 today, but... I was just kind of more in the mood for this, so I guess Mario 64 tomorrow. Huh. Wait, how's the frame rate? Okay, I'm not getting any... Let's see. It's saying my quality is good, so... hopefully it stays that way. You think they're ever gonna show us a former Keyblade Master, Yin Sid? Because that would mean that they'd have to design... I mean, they've made alternate designs for Mickey that were never in Disney, but... the character Yin Sid has always had basically the exact same design throughout his many iterations. like the mini properties he's shown up in. And like, I wonder if they're gonna create young. Oh, you can see Ventus up in the distance.
Cool.
I wonder, like, are they ever actually gonna show us Youngie and Sid?
But I want to take a look at the big city.
Yeah,
'Cause, like,
it does seem pretty
Does he
exciting.
predate Xehanort and Ericus? Like, is he older than them? Are
I
they
feel so
all of the
metropolitan.
same age?
Cosmopolitan?
Like, is one of the kids we encounter in Dark Road Youngie and Sid? I feel like now that we're covering every single aspect of Kingdom Hearts'
But we just got
history,
here.
we will
We haven't even done
inevitably,
anything yet.
like, how could we not run into Youngie and Sid? Like, they have to at least add a throwaway line of like, oh, we should teach one of these characters from, or we should teach one of the people of these worlds how to wield a Keyblade. I'll pick some random apprentice wizard in training, or something like that.
What in? Whoa.
Just some line that acknowledges that there's like a young Keyblade wielder out there in one of the Disney worlds, and then we can infer that that's Youngie and Sid, even if they never
Yogo's
show
suit
it
has
to us.
shielded her from a major injury, but the blow she sustained to her head has caused a mild concussion. We should take caution and not move her until we can fully stabilize her head.
Got it. Oh, cool! That's a robot!
I love how
Hello.
Sora at this point has
I
been
am
inside of a
Felix, your
computer,
personal
but he's still
healthcare
impressed by
companion.
robots.
Whoa.
This man has been data.
Cool.
He met
This
Tron.
rules.
Sora, remember our other problem?
Whoops. Oh yeah. Hey, who are you? Oh, I'm Sora.
What else?
And I'm Goofy.
Like, there's certain things that they've been avoiding showing us that, like, they have to inevitably show because there's
Name's
such,
Hero.
like, important elements of
Mind
the
helping us fight
story.
those things? Our team's called Big Hero 6.
Sure.
Okay, our first Marvel characters in this game. There might be more cutscene after that, but then it also might tank things. Yeah, we're gonna demolish these guys. I'm over-leveled. And you know how, like, every time I play this world, when I get to the giant enemy coming up, the game freezes for like a solid minute, and then the mod menu pops up. That should not happen anymore, because I took out the mods that were doing that. That also, will make it so that the Pirates world doesn't crash. So I'm just gonna keep the mod menus the exact same for now. My attack stat with this key, I just like the hello? Did you knock that off? I like the aesthetic of this Keyblade a lot. Oh my god, even if it's doing less damage than some of the other Keyblades I have.
Are you ready, Sora?
How's this gonna look with it? Oh, it looks fine actually. Even with Terra's like height. Huh. I was not expecting that. I thought he'd like awkwardly float above them. I'm taking surprisingly a lot of damage considering that I'm like over leveled a little bit. But I am playing like on proud mode, so yeah. To be fair, I'm also doing a lot of damage. Well, my party members mostly. Oh, but yeah, like September. Or was it August? I know one of the two. They can't gloss over those plot points forever. We need to...
Reduce the risk of injury by seeking cover. Gotcha.
They will soon have no choice but to tell us, like, provide us much needed context for some of this stuff. Uh-oh, wait, oh, Ventus is here. Aqua got locked out.
Gotcha.
Oh, wow, okay. She, found her way in. The keys were underneath the mat. I missed this as well. It was cool showing off the, other Keyblade forms, but...
Let's go.
How do you beat this? Get him. In one hit. Oh, that was so sick. I'll wait until Baymax gets knocked out and then revive him by... Oh, never mind, he healed himself. If you revive a party member who has a thingamajig, like a team attack loaded, they'll get HP back and the team attack will be initiated anyway. Dear God, Ventus was melting his health with the strike raid.
Full speed.
Okay. It is gonna feel good to shred through this world. Out of context, that makes me sound like an anime villain. I wonder if the motivations for the villains going forward... Like, at first, when we first met Ansem in KH3, not knowing what his motivations were, well, we knew he wanted to, cascade the world in darkness.
Cool. People like spectacle, not truth.
Cascade the world in darkness, but we
Yeah,
didn't
who
exactly
needs
know
quality
why.
reporting when you can just make stuff up?
Like, we knew his motivation, but
I
not
get it.
the motivation
But didn't
behind
you see
that
how
one.
awesome we were?
In a
Sure,
way, it
those
was
kids
kind of
landed a couple
cool
good hits.
being... Oh,
We had chem balls,
we get opposing
laser
Sora
hands,
instead of Terra
and
here.
Fire breathing.
Which means I could probably
Well, it really didn't matter.
skip
They beat
soon,
us.
since, like,
Where'd they come
the
from?
novelty of opposing Sora is
Well,
gonna wear off
Why
eventually.
don't we ask the guys
But I wanna...
who actually stopped them?
I wanna see what,
Hiro,
if
you
Aqua's
never
in the
introduced
room.
us.
Oh, right.
But yeah, like,
Well,
he seemed
this
like...
is
Oh, there she
The
is.
gang.
She was right next to where Vin
That's
was.
Go-Go. He's Wasabi.
Yeah,
How
he
you
just seemed
doing?
like a bad guy who wanted to do
7-Eleven.
bad things because it was bad.
Hello there.
But then as the story went on, he was revealed to have more complex motivations.
I'm Fred.
So I wonder
Don't
if,
be alarmed.
with that writing,
This is not
like,
my
mentality
real
changing,
body.
if from the very beginning,
For a second, I thought
Of,
this was a monster.
from the very beginning of
Those three
the
are
Lost Masters
Sora,
arc, they're gonna
Donald,
immediately have
and
more
Goofy.
complex motivations. Like, cause they're gonna be the new villains. Alright, that was worth it. That was worth the wait.
I am detecting my...
But after this point, it's just gonna be a normal cutscene, but with Sora standing still. So I think I could just skip it to the next part. Yo! Okay, well... kinda regretting just skipping to the next part now. Because I'm now the freaking lingering will. Crazy how that just kind of happened. Wow, it's taller than Baymax. Crud, I should probably check out that cutscene again, in theater mode, after I'm done with this world.
Shout when you're ready, Sora.
Because, yeah, I want to see how the game handled him suddenly popping in with that costume. My cat is currently going in, cleaning herself. She hates it when I do that. Earlier I was making little eating sound effects while she was, eating her dry food. And she kept, like, stopping and just staring at me. Try it out if you have a pet. Just, like, begin making little sound effects while they're going about their business. They hate that. But yeah, it'll be different. It'll be interesting to see what difference of like ideology or something like that leads to the conflict.
Okay, guys. Go through the rings and head for the goal.
Okay.
I'll be here to help you out remotely.
Also, I wonder if the foretellers, like, how loyal they'll be to him still, knowing that like he manipulated all of them. I mean, the members of Organization 13 still went along with Xemnas for a long time, so.
If you start to veer off, you'll know. I put up a virtual
And oh, what are their origins also? Like, I mean, I guess they were, because everyone else in that universe is a kid, except for the Master of Masters and the foretellers. Like, they're the only. And two of them don't even look like adults, like, Ava and, I keep wanting to call him Gura, but that's a VTuber. Ava and the guy who looks like Ventus. Well, we don't know what he looks like, I don't even know why I said that. But, yeah, two of them look like they're teenagers. Or maybe, like, young adults or something. So it makes me wonder, like, if there are characters who are older than the ones there, then, like, where'd they come from? Like, we know the Master of Masters, like, there were people around before and, like, with him. So, like, were they around in that era, or did they somehow appear in between the two eras? That sounds like stuff that they're gonna wait until, like, maybe even after Kingdom Hearts 4 to reveal. Like, the origins of the foretellers and all that. Well, maybe Kingdom Hearts 4 will tell us the foretellers' origins, while, KH3 or 6 will tell us where the Master of Masters came from. Either way, nah, but Organization 13 was the enemy for a long time without us actually knowing where most of these guys came from for, like, the longest time. But that's because they were all from... No, wait. No, but we're not getting any more. Missing Link makes it sound like we're not getting any more prequels. Which is another thing I wanted to... When I was going on my one tangent a few days ago, that's the main thing I wanted to touch on. I'm glad all the stories moving forward are gonna be actually, like, moving forward in the timeline. Like, we'll probably be getting, flashbacks, but as far as, like, prequel content goes, I think we might be all done with that. Unless, for some reason, Kingdom Hearts 5 or 6 takes place in the past, then yeah, I think we're, everything's gonna be pushing things forward towards the future instead of, like, exploring more periods of the past. Which means anything we don't see covered will be covered in, like, the new era arc of games. And, like, it's still yet to be seen if they're gonna flesh out other bits of the story with the spin-offs. Hello? No, I didn't want to... Hey, buddy, hey. If they're gonna flesh out other parts of the story with, like, spin-offs or whatever. But yeah, we're playing as Lingering Will with a functioning cape. People were actually, like, very salty that Lingering Will didn't have his cape in Birth by Sleep. I didn't know that was a thing people were upset about, but yeah. Because of multiplayer, the cape was taken out. People did not like that. I didn't even know that was a thing. Like, I didn't notice until it was pointed out to me. Because in the cutscene at the end, the cape just naturally pops out once Lingering Will buries its key into the ground. Oh wait, this cutscene's vanilla. In the Cloud playthrough, it was, modified. But I guess not this time. I think I can definitely get through this world today. And probably have time to, watch that one cutscene I skipped at the very end, too. But yeah, anything that's not covered in Dark Road or Missing Link, we can count on being covered by, the main title franchise stuff. Okay, yeah, Lingering Will is now just in these cutscenes. Well, I mean, he has his voice and everything, so technically it's just Armored Terra. That explains why in the Toys world, his mouth wasn't covered. His psychic abilities. I'm telling you, he's the one who taught Giga Chad Riku to use psychic abilities. He was the predecessor. Oh, A-posing Sora. He's making a cameo here. Dude, when A-posing Sora made a cameo, I clapped in the theaters. You wanna know something? Once upon a time, back when I was a less cold and cynical individual, I was the type of person to clap in the theater. Like when Andrew and Toby showed up in No Way Home, I nearly clapped. But then I remembered how like often people got made fun of for that. So I was like, oh, never mind.
City police are urging citizens to stay at home. For those just joining us, only minutes ago the South District was attacked
Let me tell you the interesting story of my first steps into full cynicism. Because my friend, oh my god, my friend succumbed to it before I did. Apparently all my friends were on like forums and Discord servers and all that, so they were already exposed to the super duper no. Gave them the NPC talking to me in Mario 64 treatment. But yeah, my friends had already gone on forums and stuff and had very quickly adapted to the hyper cynical. No, wait, don't sneak that off. Withstand combo. Yeah, no, having second chance was just because I was absorbing Donald and Goofy's abilities. I no longer have second chance available. I have to wait till I'm level 50. But I do have withstand combo. Yeah, all my friends had gotten to like the cynical,
you ready?
Like ironic, like make fun of, like humor that just serves to make fun of people who aren't quote unquote on the joke or whatever. It was a big cultural shift, and this was around 2015 or 16. So yeah, being young, impressionable kids, they all jumped on that bandwagon immediately, and just abandoned most of like there was a big change in values, basically, and like a big shift that I wasn't really present for, because I spent a lot of time, I was still a Skype user. I hadn't gotten a Discord account yet. So they were in a whole nother world doing stuff over summer break and all that. And I wasn't involved in any of that. Like, because they were all in, here's what it was, they were all in band and orchestra and choir. And those three clubs were like super close-knit in that school. So naturally, they were in some summer programs with each other that I wasn't involved with. So a lot of times during the summer, they were just busy doing that stuff, and I was busy doing a whole lot of nothing. So yeah, like, they were off making other friends, gaining a new sense of humor. I was, I don't know, playing Brawl still. Even though, no, I was playing Smash 4, for glory, and getting absolutely demolished by complete scrubs. who your average Smash YouTuber would absolutely laugh at and clown on.
Let's go.
And one day,
Be gone.
me and my friends, some dudes I knew since,
Want some? Be gone.
one guy I knew since elementary school and some other dudes I know since middle school were hanging out, talking to each other. And we were talking about vines.
Want some?
And one of them said that all vines were bad. Just very nonchalantly didn't victory spree. Oh, too late. I do hope that they make the UI function a little bit better in KH4 so that less things are navigated through the same button. That is also a criticism I agree with. That's not an enemy, that's a trash can. I understand your mistake, though. See ya. Thanks for the ride, buddy. Bye-bye. See ya, chump. Ow. Why did he do so much damage, Scoob? What? That was half my health bar. That one guy. That random jabroni. I am level 41. I am well, like, beyond these guys. And that guy just humbled me. Oh my god. Let me get to this mandatory fight real quick. Oh boy. And I get the feeling Ventus and Aqua aren't gonna help me here. But yeah, one of them very nonchalantly, just not in a ridiculous, like, the type of voice that you do when you're obviously making fun of someone. He wasn't using that voice, he was just using his normal speaking voice, and he was like, all vines are bad. And I was like, you know, like, not all of them, there are some good ones. And then, like, my other friend kept going, that's the joke, man, that's the joke. And I was like, what? What do you mean? He just made a statement that sounded, like, completely normal and sincere.
Let's go.
There was, like, no inkling of a joke in there at all.
Be gone.
Like, there was no gag.
Be gone.
And I remember that very, as insignificant and small as it was, I remember that moment as being, like, when I first noticed the paradigm shift and, like, how people, like, humor, how people processed everything, you know? The new rise of... Oh god, that was also the same year where everyone became super duper into, like, commentary channels, edgy jokes, dark humor. Like, that transformation was taking place for a while, and I just didn't notice it. That's the era I had to pretend to like Leafy's here because everyone liked him. And then iDubbbz made the content cop on him, and all those same people who liked him 2 weeks ago suddenly were like, oh no, he's always been bad. Like, the same people who would defend everything Leafy did by saying, it's satire, dude, it's satire. When iDubbbz made the video on him, they turned on Leafy so fast. I mean, none of us should have been watching his content to begin with, don't get me wrong. I just find it funny how, like, everyone was like, no, dude, it's satire, you can't criticize him. And then iDubbbz criticized him, and they're like, oh, this guy... I mean, I guess there's nothing wrong with changing your mind. Like, that's part of growing. That guy's stuck! That guy was stuck. Like, technically there's nothing wrong, like, well, not technically, just in general. People are allowed to change their mind and, like, evolve and grow. It was just interesting it felt like... I don't know, I never felt like iDubbbz pointed out anything that wasn't very obviously apparent even on a surface level, you know? But for some reason, when he said it, people listened. When every other commentary channel said the exact same thing iDubbbz was saying, it would go in one ear and out the other, and the person who were, like, fans of the person the commentary channel was talking about would just dismiss it. And just, like, come after that person. But for some reason, when iDubbbz took someone down, it always worked. I don't know if it was, like, the presentation he used, or the fact that he flippantly used the N-word a bunch that caught people's attention. But yeah, just something about that guy, and him saying something made people want to listen. Oh my god, this was also the era where Edeko became, like... He was already huge, but he became, like, massive. Like, such an influential part of internet culture during this time. we actually thought that Keemstar's career was gonna end. Oh, we were foolish enough to believe that someone being awful was gonna keep them from having a career on that site. No, my friends, he is still here and still very relevant. Whoa! There was the whole drama between him and Grade A Underway, where I didn't notice how, like, unhinged Grade was.
Let's go.
And also how kind of bad a lot of Grade's takes were, because Keem seemed so much worse. But yeah, in retrospect, that guy was, bad news. And then he made that, like, low-key anti-vax, well, whatever. But yeah, that whole era was a very interesting time. I remember it mostly being bad with some standout moments. Oh god, there was that whole era where every YouTuber had to make a rap song. This was a nutty couple of years, like, it all started... I feel like it all started with, like, in around 2012, 2013, there was just this massive cultural shift. That's the year the Avengers came out. Okay, yeah. I think I'm starting to identify it. That was the year Avengers came out. It became, like, superhero movies and a lot of nerdy stuff became super cool. But then, like, after that, you got the Ultra... then you got the Age of Irony where everyone was like, never mind, superhero movies suck now. And like... I'm sorry, I'm busy shooting this dinosaur.
You're done.
By the way, the drop frame's on my end, too. Yeah, let's just blast him. That did okay damage, but I could have done more if I actually stayed in the transformation. Also, I am accidentally causing the game to lag right now. That's not just OBS. Man, considering how much damage I'm already doing here, I'm going to shred the Pirate's World.
So long. Say
Okay, Rumble Chase. And I could be doing more damage if I used my better Keyblade. Which I think after I get Ultimate Cannon here, I'm gonna do that. But yeah, in 2012, like, there was this big, huge shift in everything. More people my age became more, like, online, became more aware of internet culture. There was the whole Super Hula craze, and... wait, had DashCon happened yet? I don't think DashCon had happened yet. So there was all of that stuff going on. And then, like, around 2015 and 16, things became a lot more edgy and cynical and dark, and sincerity became cringe. Being really into, like, Star Wars and superhero movies was no longer cool. It was like, if you like those things, you were now, like, it got to the point where liking those things was considered unpopular, but then it became popular, so then it became unpopular again. And part of me, I watched the Sarah Z video on it, and yeah, she pointed out a lot of things that were definitely true. And I agree with basically all of it. Ow! Thank you, I'm just gonna go for it. I don't know why I started getting fancy, but... Whew. I think as much as it is, yeah, there was the genuine problem of, a lot of superhero fans genuinely being, like, pretty toxic about things, so that could have a lot to do with, the cultural shift against that type of stuff. But I also distinctly remember a lot of people just, like, kind of deciding it was the new hotness to hate on superhero stuff. Even before Marvel started pumping out a bunch of mediocre content, which I fully acknowledge that they have done, by the way. Like, just because I enjoy a good number of their movies, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like Ant-Man and the Wasp wasn't beyond forgettable. But yeah, like, for a lot of people, I think it just became around the time Civil War, Avengers Civil War came out, which is an actual good Marvel movie. It became the new hotness to be like counterculture and contrarian and to dislike popular thing and to not want like normies involved with your hobby. Like, liking things became about a sense of superiority rather than liking it because you thought it was good.
Just try and catch me.
Which I guess it's kind of always been like that, right? Like... no, Terra shows up later in this cutscene, I can watch it. Especially since I just skipped so many. And I'm on a bit of a tear right now. It's always kind of been that way to an extent, but it was the first time as a kid that I really noticed it. I really noticed that attitude take hold. And stuff like Deadpool, even though, I'm gonna be honest, a lot of Deadpool's quirky fourth wall breakingness is kind of surface level and doesn't really do it for me. But stuff like that became super popular at that era. Because even if you made a super surface level critique of like poked fun at superhero stuff, just because it was like super popular and all over the place, you would get kudos from the I hate superhero movies crowd. Like nowadays people have way more legit reasons to hate superhero stuff. Because like Marvel and Disney's awful business practices, like the way that they treat, like they refuse to use a lot of practical effects because the practical effects studios are unionized, which is why so much stuff in their movies is like CG. I defeated that guy with my mind. But yeah, now, like... But yeah, back then, no one came up with a an actually good justification like that. It was always like, oh, you know, superhero's bad now.
To display excitement. Hero.
There wasn't like an ethical concern.
So, like, this?
But yeah, there's always been that attitude. Terra refused to fist bump that guy. Absolute disrespect.
Get ready.
But with music, God, the stream that 2 years ago, before, like when Vosh and Contra were still friends, Vosh, Contra, and Shu did this one collab video, during the election season, or after the election season, where they talked about, like, music taste, and, like, you think people would listen to music because they just like the way the songs sound, or, like, it was just what they grew up around, so they started to like that particular sound. Like, a lot of people who grow up, like, just where you grow up impacts what type of music you listen to a lot of the time, right? So for a lot of people, music is just like, I hear a thing, I think thing sounds good, so I continue to listen to thing as I get older. For some people, that's like the music their parents listen to. For some people, it's the stuff they hear on the radio. Some people, it's something a friend introduced them to. And for a lot of people, it's just something they hear in a video game. You listen to music at the end of the day because you think it sounds good. Whatever objective qualities the music has, I doubt that's relevant to most people. But for a lot of people, what music you listen to isn't about what you think sounds good. It's about, like, what music you listen to is, like, a sign of your personality.
They're back.
Oh, we got this.
And it's, like, a method to feel superior to others. Like, you see that so much in how people talk about music on Twitter.
Wait, guys, that one's not like the others.
That one's not like the others. It doesn't listen to the music you listen to.
Can't be.
They have an evolved taste.
Microbots? Huh?
But yeah, like for a lot of people, music isn't about just what they think sounds good. It's about feeling superior to others and like using the songs they listen to as a part of their aesthetic. Like what music they listen to is a personality trait to them. And the conversation, well, conversation air quotes, between Shu and Bosch there really accentuated that. Because Vosh just, like, explained, I play video games a lot, and the video game's music sounds good, so I listen to video game music. I mean, what's hard to understand about that? But, like, Shu and Contra, both of which I know play video games rather frequently, acted so incredibly shocked by that. And, like, Vosh was able to, like, very effectively answer their questions. But they were still like, that's all cope. They were, like, very obtuse. And I know they were mostly joking about it, but...
Sora,
I think it really does show that, like,
healthcare companion.
It's not enough that you just listen to the songs you like.
Thanks, Baymax. We're in good hands.
It's a personality trait. And
Let's move.
some taste in music don't count for some reason. Like, there's really no reason, like, no earthly reason why video game music shouldn't count. I think, for some reason, despite the fact that they both definitely played modern games, they still think video game music is, like, a bunch of bleeps and bloops on a freaking, like, Atari Pong thing. Like, they think Vosh was just listening to, like, they probably think Vosh was just listening to the freaking Dig Dug soundtrack on loop for hours and hours on end, and had never heard a different song. But for a lot of people, it's about your musical knowledge, what albums you've listened to, being able to talk about stuff like that, being opinionated and getting into arguments about that type of thing, like calling such and such overrated or underrated, talking about what rare, obscure bands someone else has never heard of. That's what music taste is about for a lot of people. For a lot of folks, it's not just enough to listen to a song and think, oh, that sounds nice. I like that. There needs to be, like... Oh my god. Frame rate, please. I always forget where I'm supposed to go here. I just have to, like, wander around aimlessly, and then Hero will be like, oh, by the way, go here. I could have told you that, like, a while ago, but I just thought it was funny to watch you run around aimlessly. You got pranked. He's trolling us. He's trolling us. But yeah, they think what music you listen to is a personality trait. And then they clowned him on Twitter for saying he liked, like, electric swing disco or whatever. And most people, I doubt they even know what that is or what it was if they listened to it. But, like, it's something they clowned on him again for, and it's like, who? I'd say who cares, but apparently they care very much. Like, it's a social, like, it's a piece of social status. Like what type of clothes you wear. Oh, come on. Saying you like a certain brand or a certain album, or a certain band or album, in a lot of ways to music fans is like, ow, what, like wearing certain fashion labels. Like, it's not about the practicality of the clothes, or whether or not they look good. It's purely about, it's about aesthetics. And it seemed like Vosh got into a lot of new music afterwards, which, I mean, good for him. I'm genuinely glad he, like, got to broaden his horizons. I just hate that he kind of got bullied into it. I know he doesn't actually care, and, like, all of it was a joke. But I didn't want to do the, whatever, I'll use the finisher just to burn it and do some damage. I leveled up, I'm out of here. Where was the little where was the tone indicator? Okay, there's the /J point. Okay, the frame rate in-game is going down a lot. I'm gonna blame it on Terra's Cape. This is why they removed it in Birth by Sleep. It's all Terra's Cape's fault. Hello? Hello. Okay, Thundara Trinket. I'm probably never gonna use that. I remember getting a cool ability from one of those way back when. I'm just gonna start getting my MP back on the way over there. Whilst I fly over. But yeah, I know he doesn't actually care about any of that. He didn't, like, feel insulted in any way. But I don't know. I just hate that, like, it wasn't them saying, okay, I mean, that's cool and all, but, like, wouldn't you want to know about these bands? Like, I just hate how it was, like, him constantly getting clowned on. I also hate how he does so good in every other debate, but he lets you completely steamroll him there. Like, because she just kept spamming the word cope, and then his chat kept spamming cope, and he completely lost, control of the narrative. It's like, man, the one time you needed to come through in a debate, okay, well, that wasn't the one time, but the most important time, more important than any of these big political issues, what music you listen to. When it comes to the important issues, like, defending video game music, you fumbled the bag. You got clowned on. You got ratioed. Uh-oh, please no. Please no. But yeah, that whole subject of a popular thing bad just reminded me of a lot of that story from my childhood of when I first figured out that there was a cultural shift, that stream watching Vosh and coming to a realization about music taste, and why I don't really care about getting into a lot of the albums people say are like mandatory listening because, screw you. I listen to whatever I want. Like, I'm watching all the big popular movies right now, not because I was clowned on for not having seen any movies, because, like, before 2021, or 2020, like, in 2021, I really started, like, going on a journey of watching a bunch of different movies, because I had barely seen any films that weren't, like, Star Wars or Marvel or whatever, up till that point. And then I started broadening my horizons in that aspect, because I talked to my brother, and instead of clowning on me for the type of things I'd watched, he just recommended me things. And that's why I broadened my horizons as far as, like, the media I consumed and the movies I watched. And I recommended him a couple of, like, a bunch of Japanese songs I listened to, and he listened to those. And I think that's the better method if you want someone to get into something. Not constantly clowning on them or, like, pestering them until they feel like they have to do it, but genuinely just giving them a choice.
Wait, did you just say dark cubes? Yeah, they're dark, they're cubes. I call them like I see them. Every bad baddie needs a cool name.
Bad baddie.
We'll gather as much data from the dark cubes as we can.
Jesse, put on the Mario Galaxy OST, even if it scares the hoes.
Hero, figure out
but
a way for us to
yeah,
beat this thing.
I was talking about the music thing. Oh, popular thing bad. JoJo's and One Piece are so incredibly popular that people will refuse to watch them out of sheer spite. And part of me, because I just got done saying I don't listen to a lot of music, purely out of spite because of that conversation with Shu, Vosh, and ContraPoints. So I'm kind of exactly like, when it comes to music, I'm a lot like the anime fans who I'm annoyed with because they won't, like, they refuse to watch One Piece and JoJo's simply because they're really popular.
You protect the others.
And like, yeah,
I'll
that's...
mark their position for you on your AR display.
It's silly to deprive yourself of potentially good art because you have, like, baggage associated with it.
All right.
So, like, but also, I say that and realize, like, I get their perspective. I get maybe they had a bad run-in with a One Piece fan or a JoJo's fan. And that, like, painted such a bad perception of those series for them. And yeah, I need to acknowledge how, if you give someone an awful introduction to a piece of artwork, they're not gonna want to consume that artwork. If they think the people who are into it are super annoying and are, like, turning their noses at up at them and saying, "Oh, my superior artwork is so much better than your slop," then yeah, you're not gonna... Oh, Vin! Oh, you finally decided to show up. You let me get attacked by that alien goop monster earlier. Or dark cubes. I don't know why I called them alien goop, as if I haven't played this game like 10 times. And also watched most of the movie that this is from. Ow. But yeah, I completely realize their perspective on how awful of a taste that can put in your mouth. You think that was the first time Sora ever heard Spanish? Do they speak Spanish on Destiny Islands? You have to wonder. Okay.
Sora, please climb on.
But yeah. Like, I get that perspective, honestly. Which is why I think a lot of people who are part of fan bases do really need to clean up their act. Because that can have such a huge impact on whether or not people get into the artwork. And I'm looking at Kingdom Hearts fans when I say that. Because we can be notorious for being overly defensive. Like, if someone's being hyperbolic to an obnoxious extent or is arguing in bad faith, I'm willing to call them out on that. But I'm not gonna, like, screech at them about, like, I'm gonna give actual insightful feedback on their criticism instead of being just super angry that they said bad things about a thing I like. You sneaky little jerk! Oh my god. Did you see them just, like, give me the schmoves? Wow. Okay, I know where they're gonna be passing by next, so I'm gonna get them. But I also say that knowing that on the other end of the scale, there's the fact that you shouldn't deprive yourself of what is potentially good art out of spite. I feel like everyone just needs a good reason to get into something, or like a person who encourages them to get into something rather than twisting their arm into it or making fun of them for the things they like. Because, yeah, maybe I would enjoy... I mean, I'm honestly content with the music I listen to now. It's just good music, which is why I listen to it. And it's not just video game music, it's also, like I said earlier, a lot of Japanese artists. So I don't feel the need to get into, like, listen to a bunch of Nirvana albums and, like, Kanye albums and all that. Because I'm just content listening to what I'm listening to. No hate to anyone else, just I have my taste. And I am discovering new stuff, but it's new stuff in the facets that I'm familiar exploring, and I'm content with continuing to do that. These guys are given such good EXP, and it's so easy to squish them on this thing. Okay, but anyway, I need to fulfill the mission before these guys, like, all suffocate to death or whatever. I'm so disappointed you can't bowl through on this thing and destroy all of these. Like, they specifically created a blockade so that you wouldn't be able to do that. Man, the lighting here is so good. The lighting looks so good on Terra's armor. And he's on the... It's impossible to miss this guy because he's on, like, the biggest, brightest tower in the city. Honestly, a good design choice to put him up here.
Wasabi, can you hear me? Gotcha.
Cyborg voice actor. I think I've pointed that out like 8 times now.
Good to see you're all right. Listen, Sora, the dark cubes have converged on
Oh, but yeah, on some level, I get how, like, certain things can leave a bad taste in your mouth, but if something exists, like, that seems like something you could potentially get into or just seems like good art in general, really, you shouldn't let a fan base get in your way. Like, you don't always have to interact with a fandom or whatever. But if you're personally content with the media you consume already and you just don't feel the need to, like, watch JoJo's or whatever, then, like, okay, fair enough. Just like how I listen to the music I listen to, and I don't feel the need to, like, go listen to a Nirvana album. Like, fair. But I also realized that maybe I'd really enjoy that Nirvana album. Just like how you'd maybe enjoy JoJo's or One Piece. And I personally haven't watched One Piece. Maybe I'd enjoy it. It has a few tropes in shonen anime in particular that annoy me a lot.
What do you suppose?
Which is a rant for a different time,
I
but
don't think we want to find
overall,
out.
I think I have some very surface level shallow criticisms, but I don't know what the actual plot itself is. So I'm gonna keep those criticisms to myself until I actually at least know a plot synopsis of One Piece. So that I at least, like, know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I haven't watched it. I've heard it was really good, and I believe it because I've seen a few videos on it. But whatever, yeah, like people can miss out a lot and not widen their horizons because of a lot of social reasons, and a lot of those social reasons come down to hey, it's that kid I met on Destiny Islands. A lot of those factors come down to a lot of those things come down to social factors that make people hesitant to give things a try.
What? Wait. That voice.
Oh, I can definitely finish this world.
You know this guy?
And now, enter the supervillain.
He definitely has the vibe.
I feel like you should have fought the Dark Cubes immediately.
Funny.
Like, we should have... Oh, I unnorded him. His eyes are blue now. Oh, I kind of wasn't expecting that.
As if this stupid
Yeah, this is the part where we should have had a mini-boss with Riku. But I guess they didn't want to have two mini-bosses back-to-back. Maybe that alleyway fight, where it was invincible and we couldn't hurt it, maybe make it so that we actually fight it there, and then it splits, we beat it there, or we think we beat it, but then it splits into a bunch of small pieces, and then we do that whole mini-game, well, not mini-game, we do that segment that we did there where we have to free everyone from the Dark Cubes, and during that, we destroy the last of them. When we do that, the main core of the cubes flies up to this building, and we go chase after it. But before we can go pick it up, Riku shows up, and we get into a small boss fight with him. Yeah, his boss fight happens instead, but all the cutscenes and stuff proceed accordingly. I feel like that would have been a good way to pace this. Letting us, like, fight a character we recognize and they still just move on. It looks like we're looking at, like, you know when they do those unveiling, like, those trailers for, like, high-quality figurines and merch getting released? When the camera was panning around Terra, he looked like a freaking action figure getting shown off. I'm so glad my good friends Aqua and Ventus are here to help. The ironic part is, if I had the C-mod menu, I could just spawn them in. Wait a minute. I parried that. I didn't mean to. I keep accidentally pressing the attack button. I might be able to use magic against him in this phase. Not if I keep missing. Okay, I actually did manage to successfully block that. I thought when I missed the first time, I was, like, screwed. Did I miss the... No, this guy just, like, takes forever to be vulnerable. Alright, buddy. The joke's over. Let me attack you. Oh, I had the opportunity to attack him earlier. He just... I wasn't paying attention, I guess. I do not have focus.
You're done. Want some? Be gone. Be gone.
There he goes.
Be gone.
And I also acknowledge that sometimes when people dislike popular thing, it's for a reason. like earlier with people who now hate on Marvel because of the MCU and Disney's whole tendency to not like want to work with unions. Baymax, you'll heal me, right? Oh, she's using Thunder from outside the arena. For a second, I thought, oh yeah, Baymax casts Thunder. Wait a minute, he can't do that. Where is he? Okay. And there's also me not liking... I also realized that I'm one of the few people on planet Earth who dislikes the Pokemon franchise, and I have my reasons for that as well. And I promised I wasn't gonna rant about that, so I'm not going to. But yeah, I have my reasons is all. And those reasons have nothing to do with it being popular.
Let's go.
Certainly.
Oh, wow. Nice finisher, dude. Oh, boy. Please don't make the camera angle to go at a really weird point before you... Okay, good. That attack launches with such bizarre timing. Okay, the core actually just doesn't spawn the first time. But I'm doing, like, mad damage, so it doesn't really matter. I will get this guy. Right now, in fact. Terra has this weird thing. Remember how in Kingdom Hearts 2 there was a weird gimmick where, you had to use a combo finisher on a boss to defeat them? Like, I get that they did that for style points, but sometimes it was, like, a little bit, like, of an inconvenience. Terra kinda has that going on for some reason. Like, a lot of these bosses, I'll land what should be a finishing blow, but it won't count until an actual finisher hits them. I mean, I guess they're called finishers for a reason, but... I expelled him from my body. Foreshadowing for how Terra would eventually, expel Xehanort from his body. Bravo, Vince!
Oh, this isn't for you.
See, yeah, when we first came here, he could have immediately snatched that. Like, he could have came in, we give that speech about, oh, who's that in the black hood? Is that, like,
Why do you look like
that's
that?
the guy from earlier. Is that Riku?
Looks are deceiving,
And then
but
he
the
teleports over, takes
you
that
know
chip.
that it's me.
I know Riku wouldn't do this. Not
Hero
without a good reason.
runs in for it, but he's too slow.
A reason? When did that ever matter?
Then Riku suddenly
We've been
attacks
trying
us.
to one-up each other since we were kids.
And then afterwards we get this speech.
What?
The coat means he's with Organization 13. And that means he's
And the fact that he looks
really
like Riku would also
Smarter than you look.
help with the whole reason why we don't finish him off here. Like, Sora's conflicted about fighting him. But by the time he realizes he's not really Riku, he slips away.
Maybe this Riku came back too from the time
Oh,
when
also,
Ansem
here's a funny
possessed
note.
him.
The Sonic comics are apparently popping off.
What?
Like,
How?
I've talked about this before, but yeah,
Unlike
the
a
Sonic
certain
comics are doing
wizard
very
you
well
know.
right now.
I had to play by the rules
And
to travel through time.
Comic Sonic has like a
which
thing
meant
against
leaving
killing
my
people.
body behind.
Like, it's one of his principles that he just does not kill. But Game Sonic surprisingly does not have that. I remember playing Sonic and the Black Knight as a kid and being super surprised.
Xehanort's
that,
heart left his body in order to voyage
Like,
back
at one
through
part,
time.
they were like,
He
hey,
needed to tell his
you're
younger
gonna have
self
to
of the
kill
great
King
plans
Arthur,
he had in
and
store.
everyone's going to hate you for it.
There in the
And
past,
Sonic's just like,
his heart stayed
guess I can't always be
and
the good
waited
guy.
out the years
It's
until
like,
you and
Sonic,
I came along.
you're gonna kill a man.
Xehanort's heart possessed me and became
Sonic the
Ansem,
Hedgehog is going
the
to kill a
first
guy.
adversary you faced.
And he even
The
does like a
rest of
little
him,
victory
the
pose
piece
after he
left
does it.
behind,
Of course,
took
King
the name
Arthur ends up
Xemnas
being like
and
fake.
created the first
Like,
organization.
he's not a real dude, but
It was all a part of a larger
It still
plan
was
to
weird
bring
how
Xehanort
just
into
down
contact with the right hearts.
Sonic was
Enough
for that
of them to
immediately.
form the real Organization 13. They could come from anywhere.
Oh yeah,
Anyone.
there's also a part in Sonic
Just
Forces
as
where
long
he
as
implies
had
that
the
he's gonna
right
like
vessels at hand to
kill
place their
Infinite.
hearts in.
And apparently when the Phantom Ruby disappeared, it took Infinite with him, so I guess he fulfilled that promise. Okay, I see that I'm dropping frames.
The replica
OBS.
program was a success.
Lay
We're
on
as
Fonteries.
real as people.
Then pack up and leave. What are you still doing here?
To see if we can recreate a heart from data.
What?
Could you imagine if one day Kingdom Hearts did the thing that Kid Icarus Uprising does, where they give you lore in the middle of a boss fight?
Over there has a heart. At least that's the nonsense I'm supposed to believe.
Like, you'd get a short introduction, then the fight would start
around
happening.
us.
And
You
you
only
just
have to
keep
see
getting
them
lore drops
for them to
throughout the
become
boss fight.
real.
Where'd you get that?
Kind of nutty
That's
that
my
Kid
chip.
Icarus
I
Uprising.
made it.
Oh, well, I'm sorry about that. But I promise.
That was
I'll
kind of
put it
nutty
right
that you had
back
to
where I
like
found
stall and mess around for a while before
What do you mean?
before you actually got all the lore in that game.
I think
Like, if
I'll
you
be
beat the
getting
boss
back
too
to
early,
work now.
you just would not get the rest of the context for the story.
We gotta stop him. Guys!
It was simultaneously cool and interesting to get like
You are all suffering from
like
acute exhaustion.
being able to
I
get
recommend
gameplay and
rest.
exposition at the same time. But it was also a bit
Yeah.
weird that you could
You're
just
right.
miss out on stuff by being
Let's
too good at the
regroup.
game. Hopefully, if they ever make a sequel to that, like ever, if they release Sakurai from the Infinite Smash Brothers loop and let him develop another game, it would be interesting seeing how they could potentially modify and rectify that whole issue. I'm wondering what they could even do about that. To somehow, like... Because I definitely see how that helped with the pacing. You got the lore, and you got to, like, just jump into a boss fight without, like, a longer cutscene. But people don't exactly mind the longer cutscenes. And you'd always have characters talking to you while you're exploring the stage anyway. And the flying segments, especially, they were like filled with dialogue and exposition to like explain everything you were seeing. And since it was on the rails anyway, they had a perfectly good reason to do that.
Guys, what's with all the long faces?
Maybe the boss fights could have on the rail segments where they give the lore dumps.
Fred.
And then you go to an
Not
on
now.
foot segment where you where there's like
His
significantly
name is
less
Riku?
dialogue.
And you know him?
Yeah. Well, I know him.
The fake ones with Organization 13, our arch nemesis.
Okay, but how'd he get Hero's
No one corrects him.
And what did he mean about an experiment?
I need to
And
get
what
a
do
drink of
they
water
want?
1 second.
He said they're trying to recreate a heart from data. But I don't know what they really want. None of us do. These guys, they show up, and instead of fighting fair and square, they go for the heart and say things to try and get under your skin. They're cowards. And now they're doing it to you, too. It's our fault.
No. This could be good. That chip might finally be able to give me some answers.
Okay, hydration accomplished.
You said that you made it, right?
Yeah, this Baymax, he's actually the second
Vince
model.
is just vibing out in the corner.
No offense.
I am a robot. I cannot be offended.
During the Android takeover,
So,
that quote's gonna
long
age
story.
very poorly.
But the first Baymax and the chip I made vanished into another dimension, along with the microbots. The chip's back. So the first Baymax might be back too.
Hiro.
Those
I
who
find it...
suffer a
Is there a
loss
name for a
require
trope
support
where
from
a character
friends and
quote-unquote
loved
vanishes
ones.
into another dimension? And like... we don't know if they left or if they straight up died.
Guys, come on!
Like, they did that with Terra in well, not the Terra I'm playing as now, obviously, but they did that with Terra in Teen Titans Go. Or not not Teen Titans Go, the original Teen Titans series. And like, I guess Jet died in Avatar? Oh crap, darn it. I'm gonna have to tag this video with a... But if I don't finish saying the name of the series, they'll never know. But yeah, let's just say there was a kid show where some rocks fell on a guy. And like, we never got absolute confirmation if he died, but I guess he did. And everyone was like, oh, thank God, that guy was annoying. But I was like, hey, wait. That was a child, right? Like... like, the poor kid got mind-controlled, like, brainwashed, and then died. I guess, apparently. They even poke fun of, at how weird they handled that whole situation. I guess it was a censoring thing. Like, they didn't want the character around, but they technically couldn't kill off a teenager, so they just did a thing where the rocks fell and no one knows what happened. But later there's like a play episode that's spoofing that. And then the rock thing happens and they're like, one of the characters whispers over to the other, did that guy just die? Question mark? Like, not even the characters canonically know what they meant to do with that. The answer to the age-old question, is this character dead or in, like, another dimension or something, usually is answered with the statement, that depends on if we're making a sequel or not. If we don't make a sequel, they're super dead. If we do make a sequel, they're gonna show up in it. If the series gets cancelled before we get our next season, they're dead. If we do get renewed for another season, they lived. I sure do hope the game did not crash. That would be mighty unfortunate if the game crashed right before I fought the last boss in this world. Gotta make sure not to cut out all these blank empty spaces where I'm actually talking about stuff. Several years later, the game finally loaded. Is this also a result of Aqua and Vin not being in the game? No, last time I straight up got a fatal error message. So I'm guessing it's not that. Maybe this actually is just a really long load time. I hope a Twitch official doesn't show up and think, oh, this guy's streaming a blank screen right now. Shut him down, boys. I don't know if I guess the only rule I'd be breaking would be saying I'm playing Kingdom Hearts 3 instead of moving to the just chatting segment. But then again, anything on Twitch can suddenly become not against the rules if enough Twitch streamers just suddenly decide they really want to do it. Like if they all, when they all simultaneously decided they wanted to sleep on stream. Like they really all wanted to go to bed on stream and just like sleep the whole stream. I don't know why they wanted that, but they just all decided to want it, and now that's like, that became the meta for a while. Eventually, they're gonna, everyone's gonna decide, one of the big streamers is gonna decide, you know what? Blank screen. Yeah. Blank screen, and it's just gonna be me talking, no webcam. No webcam, black screen, me talking, no interesting thing happening in the background. Just this. For like 8 hours. And there will be segments of that 8 hours where I just like walk away. Do something else. I won't announce when I do it. I'll just suddenly like get up from the chair and leave suddenly without announcing why. And you'll never know when I come back. That'll be just the whole 8-hour stream. People watching the VOD will keep skipping ahead thinking, okay, when does this joke end? It doesn't. Then again, Hassan does just like randomly get up and leave during a lot of reaction at Andy's segments. Like, he will just peace out and there will be like the live Hassan reaction and it's just his empty chair. So, you know, he could be pioneering that meta. All he needs to do is like take away his webcam and also take away the video, the audio of the video playing in the background. Then, you know what? I'm the one pioneering this meta. This is my thing. I can like get the jump on this before anyone else does. I'm gonna be the guy who streams to a black screen where nothing is happening. This is gonna be like that Olympus Coliseum situation, isn't it? Yeah, I'm gonna not be able to complete this world because... Oh god, this is another surprise podcast. I don't remember what the last significant thing that happened was. Like, were we about to do a boss fight? What's going on? Well, it's almost 9:30 where I live, so like... I mean, if it doesn't load soon, I'm just gonna have to leave. Okay. How am I dropping frames when nothing is happening on screen? Get it together. Dudes will see you literally not broadcasting content and say you're dropping frames. Dudes will see you teleport and be like, that guy has no car. Huh? What? Okay, I just tried to... I am currently broadcasting to my Twitch account, and OBS just asked me to sign in when I tried to type bruh in my own chat. What? Bruh, what? What do you mean? That's... I own the account, I'm the one streaming. What do you mean, join Twitch today? I'm here already. Whatever, I'm just gonna open Task Manager and close the game. I think this is... I think the Jedi must end. The only time I hear about... By the way, the only time I hear anyone say May the 4th is in the context of making fun of people who say May the 4th. Like, nobody actually says it. It's just a thing that gets clowned on. Like, preemptively, too. People will wake up at, like, will go to bed at 6 p.m. and wake up at 12 a.m. on the dot just to make fun of people who are going to say May the 4th that day. People won't even wait till May the 4th. They'll, like, the second it reaches midnight on May 3rd, they'll be, like, post a message making fun of people who do the May the 4th thing. Okay, but yeah, I'm just gonna give up on this process. I'm gonna remove the Aqua and Vin mod again and see if that makes a difference. Yeah, I was like literally right there. I was right about to fight the boss, and then the game decided to freeze, so. I mean, that's kind of out of my hands, but yeah, I'll see you next time. End task. End task. Alright, well. I'll see you next time. Sorry I didn't quite beat the world. I got incredibly close, so it basically counts. I'll just have to, like, jump in the next stream, immediately slap the Big Hero 6 boss, and then immediately move into the Pirates world, so yeah, I'll do that.